Ah no, welcome back to Matchday Live, and it's me, Dan, back again. And this weekend, Manchester United are the first game on the Saturday this time against Bournemouth. It's the 12 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. So the team I've gone for this week is pretty much the same as last week's game against Norwich. Rashford, Martial, Pereira, Fred, Dan James, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Young, and obviously De Gea in net. So obviously there is talk about Lindelof, Maguire and Rashford not being fit for the game. If that's true, it probably will be Jones and Rojo at centre-back, and then probably Dan James on the left and maybe Mason Greenwood on the right, or Lingard on the right, I'm not too sure, or Pereira on the right, and just Lingard in midfield. So yeah, let's get into it and let's play match and talk about the last couple of results for Manchester United. So obviously last weekend Manchester United had to face Norwich at Norwich, and I was expecting to be a tough game for United, and it's pretty easy from United, to be honest. So we won the game 3-1. We won a game 3-1 and we missed 2 penalties. So it could have been 6 or 7-0. That's how that's how bad United were. Norwich weren't bad. They got their goal. What the hell was that? Norwich got their goal, but Bournemouth are not Bournemouth. Norwich were pretty poor. If the goal, if Tim Krul was in the goal, it probably could have been 5 or 6-0. So yeah, let's talk about the first goal, which was a McTominay goal. It was from a corner. A corner back crossed in, and it just went straight through to. I think it bounced along in the area for quite a bit, and then obviously McTominay got in front of the defender and just hit it first time, and then that was 1-0. It was a great finish from McTominay. After that, Dan James got fouled in the penalty area. It wasn't given at first, but then VAR gave it. But then obviously Rashford. Oh yes, look at that finish from Rashford. Rashford took up, and it was saved from Tim Krul. So then that was still 1-0. And then after that, literally, what a ball it was. It was Dan James on the right hand side. What a ball! What a through ball it was to Marcus Rashford, who made his comeuppance and got his goal in that game. So then that was 2-0. And then a little bit after that, we had a corner. The corner got cleared towards Fred, who had like a volley, which was blocked by a hand, and then that was considered a penalty. That was handball in the box, and that was considered a penalty. So then up took Anthony Martial. Martial took it, and Tim Krul yet again makes a penalty save. A really good save that one though. Rashford's penalty was quite poor, but the other penalty was oh, what a goal! Look at that, it's 2-0 from Martial. Then it was Martial's one was pretty good. So then we went into half time winning 2-0. It could have been 4-0 at half time, but yeah. Winning 2-0, and then obviously after half time we kind of gave up a bit. Let Norwich had the ball a bit more. Norwich came out and tried to get that goal. But then Martial and Rashford, just struck up a really good goal. We win the ball high up. Rashford passes it into Martial, then back to Rashford. Rashford then back heels it to Martial. Pretty much like that. And Martial just dinked it over the Tim Krul, and yeah, then that was 3-0, and then I was like, what a goal that is. And expecting that goal wasn't gonna get beaten this week. Wait until the Chelsea match. But so then the last thing in that game was the Norwich goal. McTominay loses it in midfield, and then obviously I think it was Hernandez went on straight through and scored. It was a really good run from him. The defender should have done better. Maguire especially, he should have done better there. But then that was 3-1. So it finished 3-1. A consolation goal, a pretty much good goal for Norwich. But yeah, we won 3-1. So then going into the League Cup game, which I totally forgot about, against Chelsea. yeah, against the League Cup game against Chelsea, I wasn't expecting us to win, to be honest. You know, Chelsea have been a good run, whereas us, you know, we've only had 2 wins in the last, you know, so many games. Um, oh, what a ball! That's 3-0. I knew that was going to go in. Toe pokes it in. That's 3-0 at half time in the first half. Yeah, Chelsea. I wasn't expecting much. So same thing yet again. United first half much better side. Chelsea weren't really in the game first half. Not many shots in the game, to be honest. It's pretty much, you know, a midfield game until Dan James got fouled yet again in the box, and this time it was a penalty. The referee gave it a penalty. It definitely was a penalty. It was a stupid challenge for Marcus Alonso. So then Rashford this time did score his penalty. So we went into half time winning 1-0. We could have had a couple of goals. You know, if we had, you know, if the balls were correct and stuff like that, it would have been a much better game. But yeah, we went into half time winning 1-0. Then obviously second half Chelsea came out much better, and they did get a goal, a great individual goal from Batshuayi. He wins the ball off. He wins the ball in midair against who was it? Harry Maguire, I do believe, and Harry Maguire lost it, and Batshuayi just hold off the defenders, went straight in, and it was a really good. Goal from Michy Batshuayi. So yeah, then that was 1-1, and then, you know, it looked like from the highlights, it looked like Chelsea were going to win the game, but somehow, like a 35-yard free kick. If you haven't seen it, I wouldn't be surprised. But if you haven't, go watch it. It's a really good goal from Martial. A really good goal from Rashford. Rashford from 35 yards out. Ronaldo-esque free kick. It swiveled. It went up. It went down. And what a goal it was. It was just 35-yard free kick. What a goal it was. And we won the game with that goal. So a 2-1 victory against Chelsea got us through to the next round of the League Cup, where we do have to face Colchester, and I do believe that's in December, I think. So we got Colchester at home, which would be a good day out for Colchester fans, wouldn't it? So watch us lose that game and get to Colchester, you know. Anyway, so this weekend Manchester United have to face Bournemouth, who Bournemouth themselves haven't won in their last couple games. They've haven't had the best of games recently. You know, I think the last 2 games have been 0-0, and I think the game before that was like 2-2 or something like that. So obviously going to the Bournemouth Stadium, the Vitality Stadium, it is a very hard place to go, especially Eddie Howe. You know, they are a very tough side, Bournemouth, but at the moment they're not in form. Oh, what's the save from De Gea? Yeah, not in form at the moment. Bournemouth, where we are, and I just hope that we can continue our winning run on, so then, you know, we can get to the international break, where, you know, try and get a couple wins under our belt and go into the international break, hopefully, you know, in the top half of the table, which we are currently at the moment. We are currently 7th, I do believe, because we won that game against Norwich. So, you know, it was nice to not be in the bottom, you know, with relegation and all that, but yeah. So yeah, obviously Solskjaer came out this morning and said about a couple of injuries. Obviously Rashford and Lindelof, they have been they didn't train yesterday, was it, or the day before. They didn't train today, but they will be getting treatment, and hopefully they might be ready for tomorrow. But I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, those 2 don't play. I think we do have Europa League after this game as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see like Jones and Rojo. I hope we don't, but we definitely need to maybe look at something in our defence. Talking of defenders, Brandon Williams, yet again, what a game he had against Chelsea. I was expecting, you know, Ashley Young to start that game, but what a game he's been having, and what a left back he's looking like. Oh my God, if that went in. Also, yeah, that guy Pereira, he's been having really good games. Lingard in the Chelsea game, you know, he didn't really have the best of games, to be honest, Lingard, but I wouldn't be surprised if he started if Rashford's out, but hopefully Rashford will start, because he has scored a couple good goals, you know, since Martial's come back, and it's good that Martial has come back, and what a goal that is! What a header! Oh, he's got a hat trick. Yeah, I think there was a stat somewhere with Martial starting as the number 9. You know, United have a better win percentage. So I think, you know, if once Martial is back, you know, I think we are a good side. But without Martial, I think we struggle up the top, and you know, we saw that in the Norwich game where, you know, Rashford needs linkage up front, and well, in the Chelsea game it didn't really show that, but you know, with Martial in the team, he links up well with Rashford, and you know, those two looks like a good partnership there on the left hand side, right hand side, especially with Dan James as well. I thought he had a really good game against Chelsea and Norwich, playing on the right hand side. And this midfield at the moment, you know, with Pereira, Fred, and McTominay, I just can't see. You know, we've still got Paul Pogba out. You know, I just can't see, you know, Paul Pogba getting back into this midfield at the moment, because, you know, this midfield is working at the moment. So why change it? I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if Paul Pogba gets straight back into that midfield, but Fred's been playing really well the last couple games. You know, he didn't play that well against Belgrade, but, you know, against Norwich and Chelsea, I thought he had a really good game. So obviously Bournemouth, we've got Bournemouth this weekend. It's going to be a tough game, because obviously it normally is against Bournemouth. I reckon it will be. I reckon United will score, but I don't think it'll be. You know, it won't be a good scoreline. I reckon it could be. It might be a draw, but you know, obviously I'm going to go for a United win. I think United will win. I think we might get clean sheet. I think 2-0 would be a fair result for United, but I've got a funny feeling it might be 2-1 or something like that. You know, and we're going to get like 2 goals in the first half, and then Bournemouth might get a goal in the second half, and you know, we'll play shit second half like we normally do. So yeah, so that's my score prediction. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory. Yeah, no, 2-0 victory. I didn't say 2-1. I said 2-0, didn't I? Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory. I reckon Martial will get a goal, and maybe Dan James again. But yeah, wouldn't be surprised if we did win this game, but I would be surprised if we drew it or lost, obviously. So there we go, guys. I'm actually going to end it here for today, so please like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to leave your score prediction below. So right, I'm going. Bye. I know, guys, thank you for watching my video. Hit me up on Twitch and Twitter, and don't forget to watch the playlist down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.